subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Namaste, konnichiwa. Welcome to the Nupur Tewari Show. Let's talk business. And today also we have very special guest, Mr. Tomio Isogai. And he is freelance advisor of India-Japan relationship and definitely former managing director of South India Limited. So Isogai-san, arigatou gozaimasu. Konnichiwa.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Konnichiwa. Thank you.
And welcome to the Nupur Tewari Show. Let's talk business.
Thank you very much.
So definitely, I'm in Japan, you are in India. So,
Right. We are in the opposite direction.
Totally. So you'd love to know that how was working in India for a Japanese company and Indian employees?
Well, yes, it's been more than 10 years right now, but I have worked for Sharp Corporation as the representative of Sharp, and I worked for that company as long as 6 years in India, and then later on I became independent and freelance advisor. So in my experience, it was very exciting, very exciting to be a representative here from the corporation, Japanese corporation, trying to market products and cultivate new markets, visiting all the places in India, meeting so many people and finding out so many differences in India itself. And that made me so much interesting and very curious to know more and more.
So it seems that you really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I did, and I'm still doing.
That's amazing to know, because most of the time what I experience, Japanese, when they go to India, they find it very strange country because it's very different. Different means the working culture I'm talking about. Correct. And vice versa also, Indian, when they come to Japan, they also find a few things strange also. Right.
Very much true, because of the gap between the two countries are so huge. The cultural gaps and work ethics and ethics or work culture itself, totally different. Sometimes you see the people in India and Japan are totally on the opposite side.
So how did you bring the balance?
Well, I could manage because I could understand each other and each side. Being in India, I really wanted to adopt all the ways that Indian people are doing and adapt myself to the culture. So some Japanese people, it's very hard to do so. But in my case, I have a background, working in a very global environment. I've been working outside Japan for more than 30, I actually lived in the foreign countries outside Japan for more than 25 years now. And I have lived in many emerging countries like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, UAE, visiting all Africa, visiting South America or Latin America. So I've been, exposed to those different, culture, a totally different background, totally different history, religion, and so forth. So I got very much used to it. So from that background, I came to India as my last mission as of the Sharp's representative. So I got trained very well. So for me, it was not so difficult to adopt myself to the environment and adjust myself and adapt myself to the new environment and culture, which I could do it. So it's a matter of time, but more importantly, your curiosity and willingness to learn something and to adapt yourself. You have to be adjustable, right? You have to be adjustable to the new environment. I believe you have done it, in your part in Japan, right?
Yes, I think, yeah, when you go to a new country, you have to definitely adopt that country's culture, the local culture, definitely. Yeah. So for the lighter note, you started looking like an Indian.
Yes, I think so, and it's okay. I welcome it. Yes, many people say that my English has been totally Indianized, and that's fine. Why not? It's all right. Yes, and I look darker and darker every year. So I look much darker than you are. So you look, so it's okay. I've been very much adopted.
That is actually that makes you, more Indian, and I think local people will feel that you belong there,
Right, right,
right?
exactly. That's
Yeah,
another advantage that I
exactly.
can.
That is the
Yeah.
advantage also. Yes.
Right, right. That's why people can trust me even easier to come to me and talk to me, without any hesitation. They feel free to talk to me and ask me some services or any help that they might need. So I'm welcoming.
And definitely, I can see that you're wearing cotton also, some Indian attire as well.
Yes, yes. This is so much, comfortable here in India with the dry weather and high temperature. This fits me also, as you can see, and you yourself, of course, you are fitting to a kimono sometimes, and you feel so comfortable being there with that, and I can imagine that you are enjoying that kind of adaptation in culture, in the clothing and so forth, right? Food, of
Exactly.
course. Yeah, I enjoy all the kinds of foods here. Many Japanese people say Indians are all eating curry every day, and everything is kind of curry style and curry taste and too much spicy, and so yeah, that's true. But you can just adjust it, and you can adopt to it, or you can just ask people not to make it too spicy. It's adjustable. Many people just accept as it is served, and they don't like it. They didn't like it and they just forget it, right? That's not a good way. You have to just adjust yourself first, and to the extent you can ask the people to adjust to your taste. That's another way of thinking.
Very rightly you said. Yeah, before criticizing, definitely you have to taste it and adjust, like whether
Right.
they
So,
can.
so in many cases, if I go out to the restaurants, Indian restaurants, by the way, it's not the time because the lockdown that doesn't allow to go out even. But when I used to go out for eating outside, I always ask the restaurant servers or waiters, okay, please make it 50% salt, 50% uh, oil, and 50% spice. That makes it.
Yeah,
And they
true.
do it.
See, you know how to make your own food, how to order your own food according to your
Right,
taste.
right. Many Japanese people are very much shy to say something like that, but they can do it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure about that. Yeah, they can do it. So, yeah, since we are talking about how you adjusted there, so since
Hmm.
you walked in Japan and you said that you found your place and that is India. So,
Hmm.
how different do you think working with Japanese and working with Indian?
Well, as you may know, there are a lot of differences in the work style, right? The number one is punctuality, as you know, right? Punctuality in Japan is too extreme, sometimes too much stressful, right? And in India, nobody is thinking serious about punctuality. 5-10 minutes late is nothing, right? But in Japan, even 1 minute late is a big issue, big issue. Sometimes just by 1 minute late, you will lose a business. That's all the Indian people should understand. When they go to Japan, they have to follow the local rules. I'm following the local rules, so I don't mind, myself being late a little bit. I don't feel shy. I don't feel bad, even if I got, reached late by 5 minutes. I don't feel so bad. Of course, I will say sorry for being late, but that's the difference. This is number one. Number two, the working culture difference in number two between India and Japan. Japanese people tend to respect more on the teamwork. Teamwork. They have to work together. They have to see what the other teammate are teammates are doing, right? And if they see some teammates are, running behind or lagging behind the schedule, they tend to help them to catch up, right? So that the team itself, the team members can work in a very good harmony,
Harmony,
and
yes.
trying to get the results as expected. But on the other hand, in India, people tend to work individually and independently, which is okay, but they don't sometimes take care of or consider the others. They don't, or even take care of the others' status. So if they are doing the right job on their own and following their orders and doing their job right, they think it's okay. And they don't care about the others, how they are, the others, even if it's in a team. So the teamwork spirit is pretty much less here in India than in Japan. That's another very important point that you might also feel there, right?
Exactly. Actually, it's not, I think it is in the culture, the Japanese culture. When you go to even from the Hoikuien or Yochien and the, elementary school, it starts. So everywhere they always convince and
Right.
tell the students to pick everyone up. It's like, pull everyone up rather. So they
Correct.
can, as a team, they can grow. So that is
Right,
the
right.
thing.
It's been, yeah, that's an educational system. Since the very
Exactly.
beginning of the education, very young age, they start training the people how to behave in a society, how to behave in a team, how to collaborate each other. That's how they've been trained. So that's a difference. One more
Exactly.
thing, one more very typical difference between India and Japan is the top-down management or bottom-up management, right? You may have heard about this. The top-down means everything is coming from the top. All the work or job or any instructions, any orders coming from the top to bottom. And it is always one way, coming from the top to bottom, right? Always people are waiting for the order instruction from their bosses. If there is no order from the bosses, they don't do anything, right? But in Japan, it's opposite. Almost all the things are coming from the bottom to the top management. Obviously, the political thing or the strategy can be made, built up by the management people, but those are very vague themes, right? The themes are very vague, and those are given to each one of the team members, and the team members themselves come up with the idea what to do till when, who does that, how much, like that, right? So everybody is involved in the planning. Everybody makes their own planning, and once it is approved, then they got on the track, right? So everything goes well under control, and every single task can be performed and achieved on a timely manner. Why? Because everybody was involved in the planning itself, so they know what to do. But in India, because top guys make all the decisions and directions, the second the boss will give the direction to the others, the down below, and then below. So they're waiting down, 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 all the orders coming down. Unless you receive the order, nobody will work. Nobody will work, right? So, for example, yeah, a few about 5 years ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, right, Swachh Bharat, huh? Swachh Bharat. Okay, clean India, but this is just a slogan. Huh? What to do if Prime Minister Modi did not say what to do, then nobody will start working. And still yet today, I don't believe all the people on the street, they don't exactly know what they have to do. So they just wait until people give them the orders. So that is another thing, the top down, totally one way top down management. And Japan is bottom up, bottom up. So those are the major changes, I think.
Yeah, very rightly you said. Actually, with my friend, another friend, we were planning that we will take all the retired people from Japan and we'll take them to India to train people, how to clean. Because after retirement, there is no retirement. After retirement, I find all my all my friends, parents, and they're just they're so active. They're just doing all the society work. Today they have to clean the park. Tomorrow they have to do the volunteer job for the school. So I think these are actually we have to take from Japan. So as you said that they don't really wait for the order.
Right, right. And one more thing, if I may add, is that I can feel that majority of the Indian people are from the me first attitude, me first, because I understand so much of competition, so much of people together, so much of competition makes everybody me first, right? But this is not acceptable in Japan, as you know, as you may
Yes.
feel already. You have to consider the others. You have to consider for the sake of the team or the member or the society first, not you first, right? That's
Yes.
another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, very rightly you said, actually. Yeah, very big difference that is.
Mm.
So definitely, I would love to know that if you want to recommend the Japanese to take from
Mm.
Indian culture, Indian working style or culture, take the especially Japanese businessmen that taking three things from India, what those would be.
Well, it's a tough question to answer, but first thing, I just come up with my top of my head. The number one thing is the concept of jugar. Jugar. This is very, very important. I know that many Indian people, jugar is not something you can be proud of saying. No? Sometimes people say, it's a kind of shame that, jugar. But I will take only the positive side of it. The only positive side of jugar means flexibility, adaptability, adaptability, adjustability according to the situation. See, the Japanese people are very stubborn, sometimes very rigid, sticking to the rules, whatever it is. They don't know sometimes why it is so, the rule. It doesn't matter for them. What it matters for the Japanese people is just to observe, follow, obey all the rules set. So, for example, if you go out in the street, in the downtown street, in a big crossroads, crossings, you see the red light, the traffic red light, and you're waiting for the green light. Sometimes there is no cars, traffic around. There is no traffic around. Normally, people jump on the red light and cross the street. I do that in Japan even. See, but in Tokyo, for example, they just don't do that unless they are desperately in a hurry, right?
True.
People are just waiting. People are just waiting calmly, waiting for the red light to come, turn to green. Even there is no car around here and there, but they just wait because they just obey the rules, and that is the virtue of life. That is the virtue of life for the Japanese people, because they
Exactly.
feel very, very ashamed if they break the rule. If they feel so much ashamed, and everybody will be watching you, what are you doing here, like that, right? So
True.
that is another difference, right? But jugar can be flexibility.
Okay.
Sometimes we need to be flexible to adjust yourself to the difference or the changes of the situation.
Okay.
So sticking to the rules is important, respecting the rule is important, but sometimes you might need to find out some solution out of out of the box, out of anything, right? That's jugar. which you Japanese people can learn from India. Many Japanese people, you got to take it as a wrong concept. It's not a great concept, but I take it the positive side of it. This is one. Second thing, maybe how they are so much attached to the family, very much attached to the family. They consider the family matters, more than the work, right? This is totally opposite. In Japan, if you are working very hard and if you're very busy, even if there is a call from your family or from your wife or your children, normally they can't take it. I'm on duty. I'm on duty. I can't do anything personal. Private matter, personal matter is secondary. I'm on duty. But in India, this is opposite, right? Whenever you are on duty, whatever important and urgent it is, but if there is any call from family, that comes first. I think this is good. I think this is good that Japanese people can understand and they can take it, because sometimes they may be missing some important family matters because of that kind of work culture.
True.
That is not good.
True.
There's so many Japanese people working so late at night, and I was just like that, so I know. But that sometimes spoil the family relations, right?
True.
So that is
True.
something that I think Japanese uh, corporation businessman can learn from India. The third thing is obviously the religious matters. See, the family matters is, yes, it's closer to that, but religious matter is something different, because in many cases I was experiencing in the Sharp India Limited so many cultural things happening even in the corporate culture. And, for example, the two important Independence Day and Republic Day, we do the flag hoisting and, the small rituals, puja, we celebrate a couple of very important rituals, religious rituals, and even for the machines and copy machines or any
Yes.
PCs can be worshipped, and we put the flowers on them, and these
Yes.
are. I think this is nice. This is nice.
Okay.
You know, Japan is too much on the business oriented, too much work oriented, and very much rigid to what they have to do. So it's okay, very professional, but they can think about these
These things. And they can,
different elements. The family matters and this religious matters can mix and all blend, can be blended nicely in harmony to make a very good working culture and working environment.
that's wonderful. You picked really very important 3 points. Yeah, I can see that you have become really Indian. So now, now I would
Yes.
love to see your Japanese side. Like, what would you
Okay.
suggest the Indian businessman from Japan?
Okay. Now, Indian businessman to look from Japan, there are many things, of course.
Hmm.
But one thing, again, is the punctuality. The
Yes.
punctuality is so important, because even if you are not punctual, and if somebody is not punctual, it will spoil the group of the people. You know,
True. True.
Even 1 minute late, 1 minute delay can become a loss. All right.
True.
So
Hmm.
again, the very famous word, the time is money. The time is money. Yes. So Indian people should learn from Japan how important it is to be a punctual. Right. This is
Yes.
number one. Number two, I think it's a teamwork. Again, I've been talking about it. See, teamwork is so important. Independent and individual work is so very much, yes, valid and important, of course. But unless the team achieves the goal, it will not make good sense. So
True.
why not to work in a team? So teamwork spirit is the second point that Indian people to learn from Japan. Number three, can you guess what? This is very interesting, I think, and you may wonder why I'm saying so. It is origami.
Ah.
can you guess why I'm saying this origami is important? Number 3, for Indians to learn. Why? Can
I
you guess?
think I think making origami is kind of meditation. I find it a meditation.
Okay,
So much
meditation is
concentration
what?
there.
Meditation is here in India. Meditation is a lot of meditations are here in India, so you don't need to do that for meditation.
Okay.
There are some other important
Would love to know
objects.
from you.
Okay, because origami is the thing that comes and gives the perfection in quality.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? The very simple thing I just like to show you.
Please.
Very, very simple thing I like to show you. Here is origami, all right? I'm very well, right? Huh? This origami, the simple origami, it's a square. But there are 2 ways to make sure that this origami paper is 100% square or not. Only 2 ways. Just 2 folds. 1 fold here, make 1 triangle, right? All right. 1 triangle and 1 more from other side to make another triangle. And if it's matching exactly, matching exactly means to the edge, to this edge. If it's not doing like this, right? See the white color?
Yes.
See, the white color is back side, right?
Yes.
The front side is this golden color.
Yes.
If this paper is not 100% correct in the measurement of the, for example, not 100%, then it will become like this. It will become like this. The edge will become like this. The white color, the background color will be visible. But if it's 100%, if it's 100% correctly made, there is no white color.
True.
So this is something, you know, if you learn origami, simply the first fold is the easiest one, correct?
Yes.
But if you continue making the triangle, make it smaller, half size. This is the second fold. Now this is the third fold, right? I'm just simply folding it half, right?
Yes.
Simply folding it half, but this is the 4th time. Now it's getting very difficult.
Yeah.
It's getting very, very difficult to make it very neat, right? And that is the origami. Origami will be telling you how important it is to make the first easiest fold in perfect. Otherwise, the second fold can become less than 100 all the time. The third will be even less than that percentage to perfection. So origami is teaching you that every single fold, especially in the first easiest fold, is most important. You cannot neglect, you cannot ignore, because it is so easy and important. No, it is so easy, so you just make it just roughly. But see, then it's starting to deteriorate the quality of this paper or the making.
Wonderfully explained.
Origami is very, very important. I'm encouraging all the manufacturers to start learning origami from the beginning. It is not the hobby for the kids. No, it is for the training, how to make things in a perfect condition.
Perfection.
Yeah.
To bring the perfection. Great. You picked so beautifully 3 things. Now we would love to know, since you are in India, like how India can attract more Japanese investment in India.
Well, this is a tough question again, but naturally India will become the most populated country in the whole world.
Yes.
Soon, within 5 to 7 years from today, India will become the #1 populated country. and India will have a lot of manpower, young manpower, talented and educated manpower. So India has a lot to say to attract attention. But Japanese people, it's very, very skeptical. Japanese people are not easy to understand the future because they are looking at the current status only. See, if they are from the long-term perspective, then they can start thinking about India as next destination for investments. But to attract such attention, India should do a lot more. Indian
Okay.
people should do a lot more. You know, because of the history tells us that Japan has invested in many countries,
Yes.
particularly in the Southeast Asia, right? In the
Yes.
Southeast Asia and China. What happened to those? What happened to those areas? All the local people, see, welcome Japan's investments. Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, right? All the way. They all accepted the way Japanese people wanted to do.
Yes.
All what they wanted to do, they accepted, right? If you take a look at the history of Maruti Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki was so successful. Why? Because Maruti accepted all the instructions, all the technical instructions and expertise from Japan as is. They accepted the Suzuki style, they accepted, and they learned from them. But in many cases in Japan, in India, it's not happening. You know why? Because Indian people, they have some experience. They have a big pride in their heart. They don't want to obey. They don't want to obey everything as Japanese people say, right? It's like a colonialism. They don't like that. See, Indian people tend not to like to listen to them everything. They tend to say something. No, no, no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do this and that way. No, no. Japan side, the Japanese way is too much rigid and too much not necessary to do that level, right? I think this is okay. You know, this kind of conversation is always happening. So Indian people, the recipient of those investments, they tend to listen, but to say something against them. But all this history tells us that Japanese investments were successful in the Southeast Asia because all the recipients, all the local people accepted everything as it is. And they started to do the business. And after that, they started to make some changes according to the situation, according to the requirements
Local
from the
market.
local market situations. So
Okay.
Indian people tend not to do this. Starting from the very beginning, starting from the discussion in the contracts or signed agreements, they started to fight each other, right? So
So
this
I
is
think,
not working.
Isogai-san, after watching this show of yours, I think all the people, India and Japan, they will be very much enlightened on how to do business with, especially the Indian businessman. They will be very much, they will have more knowledge that how to deal with Japanese and
Sure.
Japanese also. They will know how to do
Yeah,
jugaad.
yeah, I'm also having 10 rules for each side, 10 rules for Japan, 10 rules for Indians, what to do, what to not to do. Maybe I can disclose that next time.
Yes, that's great. So,
Yeah.
viewers, definitely this is not the end. Isogai-san will keep coming. And if you have
Okay.
questions, do write to us because he has already 20 rules for the both sides. So, definitely he's going to give us those rules. So, he'll be with us for next time. And as I said, if you have any questions, please write them on the comment box. So, for today, we are going to end here. So, Isogai-san, hontoni arigatou gozaimasu. Really, really, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. It was very nice. Yes.
Yes, and
Hope to
definitely
come back again.
this is just the beginning, and we
Oh,
will
yeah.
definitely we'd love to have you
Okay.
again and again.
Okay. Sure. Stay safe.
Thank you. And for the viewers, definitely, as I said, that this is just the beginning with Isogai-san. He'll keep coming Please keep sending your questions, and I'll be with you tomorrow again with the Nupur Tewari Show, and day after tomorrow with the Nupur Tewari Show, Shakti Women Who Fought Odds. So for today, thank you so much for watching. And Isogai-san, arigatou gozaimashita.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.